My first question is related to your post, and we are aware that RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat is in United States, and he is all set for a rally in Madison Square Garden. But we have seen some comments.
It's great to see you, and thank you for having me on. Always great to be with ANI. I tell you, look, I've been talking about this all morning, and the truth of the matter is, when Mamdani stands on a stage and starts his rhetoric, uh, unfortunately, because he is the mayor of New York, and New York is one of the most important cities in the world, let alone in America, his comments reverberate across the world in a way that people think matters. And so let me just say, first of all, his comments don't matter. This event is going to go on. Madison Square Garden is a full-fledged corporation. They don't respond to political rants, they respond to capitalism. And so someone wrote a check, rented Madison Square Garden, and is hosting a rally. There's nothing that Mamdani can do about that. There are laws in place in America that prevent an elected official from trying to cancel a private event because he doesn't like it. So, he's so ignorant to how the real world works and certainly how America works. So, anyhow, I just wanted to put that to bed, that there's been some speculation about whether he can cancel it or not. No, he cannot. And thank goodness we have laws in America that can prevent a rogue elected official from doing something like that. As it pertains to his comments towards the RSS chief, look, Mamdani, we were exposed to Mamdani during the election season. Now we're very much acquainted with who he is. He is an anti-democracy, anti-religious freedom, anti-everything mayor and an elected official. His comments about the Jewish community and certainly against Israel, his anti-Semitic comments, his comments against Christians, his comments against Hindus, his comments against any other faith that is not his own have been so widely promoted. And that's because he's telling us exactly who he is. And so I'm not surprised when his comments surfaced about this event, because not only has he been an anti-democracy and anti-religious freedom elected official, he's also anti-Modi. He is against everything that Prime Minister Modi stands for as a leader, and he's certainly against everything that the Indian community stands for. The Prime Minister has always been a leader who has supported religious freedom. Certainly, we see cases of religious persecution in every country, in India, in America, and countries all across the world. But the Prime Minister has always been someone who is for all people. In that same breath, Sahil, the Prime Minister is aligned with the BJP, which happens to be the conservative side of the aisle and controlling India. Mamdani's against that as well. He's a part of the Democratic Socialists of America movement that is associated within the Democratic Party, that is absolutely in opposition of everything of Prime Minister Modi and everything he stands for. So again, you got Mamdani making these comments against the RSS chief for political reasons, for religious reasons, and people should not be worried about what he's saying at all.
So I just wanted to ask why Mamdani is making all these statements against the RSS and especially on the visit, according to you.
Sure. Well, again, his philosophy is that the RSS stands for something that is anti his religion, or whatever he perceives. The RSS certainly has had some controversial narratives or conversations in the past, but from my understanding and my interfaces with those who are part of the RSS or representative here in the US, it is an organization that certainly, yes, helps elect prime ministers. There are many organizations like that across the world that are associated with a political side of the aisle, but they're also involved in philanthropy. They're also involved in movements that are promoting the cultural aspects of the Indian people. And that includes all people, we're not just talking about Indians that are Hindu, but Indians that are Christians, Indians that are actually Muslim, and they're promoting the culture of India and the diversity of India. That's what I have taken from RSS. To be very honest, if you walk down the street in New York and ask someone, what is RSS? They probably would think it's a clothing brand. Most people in the United States have no idea what RSS is, unless you're in the Indian American community. So, again, Mamdani is trying to elevate something that is not a big conversation here in the United States at all. Even more so, I'll say there's an opportunity for the RSS and the chief and this event to heighten the positives about the organization. Use the 24-hour news cycle that, I mean, the RSS has gotten more publicity in the last 24 hours than probably in the history of their organization in the context of the United States. So this event is a great opportunity for them to highlight the positives of the organization. In fact, highlight the aspect of uh, religious freedom, the aspect of how India is a place, a democracy that supports all religions and all people, even in the context of the specificity of what the RSS does for certain sides of the aisle or even a particular community. And I would hope that the RSS would invite some people that are outside of the Hindu faith and the Indian community, to be very honest. I think it would heighten their event because their whole title is about oneness. What a better opportunity than to bring people of all faiths and all cultures that certainly support India, support the prime minister, and can speak positively about what this organization is doing. That in itself will silence all the Mamdani foolishness. And again, this Democratic Socialist of America movement, it's a part of the Democratic Party that is not even supported by the Democratic Party. I have Democratic elected official friends who are already publicly speaking out against this movement. Mamdani's comments, what a lot of these candidates in our midterm election that are associated with the DSA, they're anti-Semitic, they're anti-democratic, they're anti-religious freedom, and they don't represent anything that we promote as Americans and certainly as Indians.
Uh, Specifically, you mentioned about this battle between socialism and capitalism in your
Mhm.
post. If you can elaborate on that, Mary, in that
Sure.
in that respect, if you can talk to us about that specifically.
Sure. Well, Mamdani, to be very honest, Sahil, I think Mamdani has some great talent. I think he's misguided. I think he's in the wrong hands of the wrong people. I don't support his policies, but I think he has talent that if he were in the right hands, and had the right perspectives about the country that he benefits from in the context of freedom, he could be a real force for the young generation and certainly a new face, a new energy in the political arena. But because he's misguided in his policies, because he's in the wrong hands, and because he has a misguided understanding of how the world works, that is why he is irrelevant. He may have a platform right now, but there's no question he'll be a one-term mayor because he's already implemented policies and doing things that are destructive to New York, and that is certainly reverberating across the country and the world. He doesn't have any real understanding of what socialism is. If you go and live in a socialist country, you would be praying to be on the first plane back to America because in a socialist country, there are no freedoms. In a socialist country, there is no free speech. In a socialist country, you are controlled by the government and in a way that prevents any kind of freedom. So he has never experienced a socialist country. Most of these candidates and most of these elected officials who are associated with the DSA, they have never experienced real socialism. And so it's an ignorant narrative that they've attached to some type of political movement. In that context, they have no concept of capitalism. Mamdani has done a number of things in New York that has certainly hurt small businesses in New York, that is running major businesses and major CEOs out of New York, running to Texas, running to Florida, moving to different places because he's implementing policies that just don't favor business, that don't favor the entrepreneurial spirit that has always been a hallmark of New York. And so he doesn't have any understanding of capitalism. He certainly doesn't understand how the world works when it comes to capitalism. And that's why he would make stupid comments as he did by saying, you know, if I had the ability to cancel this private event, I mean, it's almost hard to talk about because he just on a uh, on a level of leadership, on a level of understanding of how the world works, how America works, he's very, very limited. Again, I think he has talent, and I wish that his talent was anchored in the real essence and ideals and principles of America. I wish that his talent was anchored in an understanding of geopolitics, that he could really be a voice that speaks positively of countries like India, his heritage, speak positive about leaders like Prime Minister Modi, who are truly, not only has positioned India in a great way, but Prime Minister Modi has become a tremendous voice as a global leader in a lot of the challenges we're facing across the world. He would be such a different player on the world stage if he understood capitalism, if he was pro-democracy, if he was pro-religious freedom. And unfortunately, he's on the wrong side of the aisle. And he's on the wrong side of the narrative when it comes to what we understand in the world.
Mary, this will be the last question as well. What would be your expectation from RSS Chief's visit to United States?
Well, first of all, I want to say welcome to the U.S. You know, it's wonderful when we have people come and visit the country, and so I say to the RSS chief first, welcome to the United States. I hope he enjoys his time here. I hope that the event is a great success, certainly in promoting oneness, promoting religious freedom, sharing the positives of what the RSS certainly does to support the prime minister and to uplift the Indian people. I hope that he brings in a diversity of other voices and people that can add to what we share as one family, and who we are as children of God. I would love to hear more of those conversations as a part of this event that unifies us, no matter what zip code we're from, or religion, or culture. We need more conversations of unity. We need more conversations of oneness. We need more conversations that speak to the positives of who we are as a human race. And so I hope that the event is a great success. I hope it's packed out and the streets are packed out, and it silences Mamdani and all of the foolishness that he has projected in the last 24 hours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary, for your time.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, dear.